together these rolls, and I can give you the recipe. So right now I'm sifting the flour, so I got to leave a little space here. Uh, then I'm going to put it in a food processor because I just don't feel like messing with it too much. All right. So here goes. This is the basic thing. So let's see. So this is 4 cups of flour, and I'm going to sift it just to get all the little balls out of it. So we'll see if anybody comes in, but I'll just keep going. We'll see how this goes. But when you sift the flour, see if there's any wet spots in there. You get these little um, things out of there. But just make sure that there's nothing in the flour. So welcome in. Thanks for the thumbs up. Or if you can give me a thumbs up, that'd be great. So I'm just sifting flour, but I'm making some rolls. And you can put it through a sifter, or you could put it through, this is just a strainer, actually. But there it is. So that way, so now I've got the 4 cups of flour, and that's nicely sifted. All right, let me put that away. Now this is melted butter, and that's about it's a half of a third of a cup. Now normally this thing takes 8 cups of flour, and I'm only going to do half because I only have 2 people. And then this is 1 cup of milk, and then I'm going to do 1 egg. So the egg, you just have to beat it. I'm going to move this out of the way here. That way it won't be in the way. And you get a lot of flour everywhere. This is kind of what happens when you're baking. It's kind of messy. Mm-hmm. But that's what happens. But there it is. So I'm going to make, these are homemade. And this way I don't have to, you can buy rolls, but sometimes making them homemade is good. And then the last thing here is the yeast. And what you do with yeast is you open the packet. Let me see if I have a packet nearby. I do. So you just open the packet, you cut it, and it'll tell you how many you need. But then you just dissolve it in water and sugar, and you just let it puff up, and that shows you that your yeast is good. Yeah. So yeast breads are kind of fun. Let's see, Anthony, Dan, Adams, Anthony. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Anthony Dam Schroeder. Okay, hopefully I'm saying that right. Yep, good. I won't even. I don't know what to call it, but this is like in the life part of the egg here. I'm gonna take this out. But anyway, whoops, there it goes. Let me get this out of here. All right, taking that out. All right, so then what you do is you just beat the egg. Oh, we're doing good. Jose, good to see you. And thanks for the 100. Oh, wow. And let's see, Boostin 30. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so this is, a lot of people don't do bread, and so I like to do bread. Now, the scary part is I'm using a food processor, which I normally don't use because it's a pain. And I'm not really good with, what's that called? Mechanical things, you know what I mean? So, anyway, we got Chance. Hello. But anyway, so this is what we're doing. So, there's the egg. So, I'll just go through this one more time. So, what you want to do whenever you have an egg, you just want to beat it so that it's combined. Yeah. And this is really important. You know, you don't want it half mixed. So, there's that. And thank you for the emojis. That's cool. And there's Susan Vincent stopping by to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to put my rolls together. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna use a food processor. So I've got it all straight here, but I don't know. This may not work, but we'll see. I'm gonna do the best I can. All right. But thank you so much and happy Thanksgiving. And I know it's gonna be interesting day for you. Hopefully it'll be a little better, you know. But it's hard. I can't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? So there's the beaten egg. This is the melted butter. This is the flour, and it's sifted. And oh, hi, Cruz Burlero and TWP Popcorn. Good to see you. So, yep. And then this is the milk. So they want you to scald the milk. I don't. But you scald the milk, and then the yeast. I'll show you that. So look at the yeast. I This is one package of yeast with water. I suggest put it in a glass container, mix it. Oh, you look like a good baker. Well, I've made these a few times, and after a while, like you get kind of used to stuff. But what you do is, they tell you like to put about a teaspoon of sugar in with whatever amount of water it is, and then you mix it, and then you just kind of whip it. With your hand, you just whip it, and then just let it sit. And it's got to be warm water. Yeast only grows with warm water, so that's what you really need to do. So now, now this is the scary part. I'm gonna try to put this. Now they said you can mix it in a bowl. I'm not gonna do that because my hands hurt. It's a lot of effort on your hands. So I'm gonna try something here, and this may or may not work, but we'll see. But I've got this massive food processor, and this one is old. It's pretty big. I'm gonna slide it over a little bit here. You see, I may have to slide it over this way, but I'll show this to you. Let me see if I can move this over. But this is what happens. See all the flour? You get flour everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna take this off of here. I'll just do this because it won't reach in the shot. I thought I could get it in, but I can't. All right, hang on a second. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. This is where I have trouble. All right, let me see here. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, this is always where I have trouble. Hang on a second. But anyway, these are the ingredients, and that's basic bread. All right. Let's see if I can get this off of here. There we go. So I'm gonna slide this off. And come on. There we go. Okay, so there's the bowl. All right, so this is the food processor bowl, and they say to put about half of the. Oh, you love to cook and bake, but I'm not a yeast girl. I'll watch all the. Oh, thank you. So a little bit afraid. So anyway, what I got in here is the dough hook. So this is a Cuisinart food processor, and they say you want to put about half of the flour in there. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I have one of these little plastic thingies that you just hold in like that. I'll do about a little more than half. And see, and I don't like to put my hands in the bread. A lot of people do. I hate it. It makes me gag. I don't know. Ever since the COVID, I've been very weirded out by it. So let's see. So they say add the yeast and the eggs and half of the flour. Okay. So I'm going to show you the yeast. So here's the yeast. And I'm going to have to scoop this out because there's a lot. But this is going to be poofy. And this will be good. Let me see here. Where's my little scraper? Will it come out? Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's a scraper. All right. I was like, I know I have scrapers. Here we go. So I'm just going to scrape it out like this. I'm going to add that in. And I'm right-handed, so let me switch. Okay, here we go. So just scooping all this out. And like I said, try to get as much as you can. And I'm just putting it right into the bowl. All right. And then, so I'm just scraping it all in here. And these are great. These are these silicone thingies. They're really good. You just put everything in there. You scoop just a little bit more, scraping. And I like these, these Anchor Hawking or Pyrex bowls. These are good. Or these measuring cups, and they have all the measurements on the side. It's English, so it's got how it translates into how many cups. Yeah. But anyway, oh yeah, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving for sure. So are you guys cooking or are you just gonna eat? I understand, when you want to eat. So let's see what goes next. Okay, so they say, yeah, add the yeast, the eggs, and half the flour. Okay, so here's the eggs. I'm just gonna, and you just throw it in here because the food processor does it for you, which is beautiful. And I'm just gonna scrape this out too, because you end up getting a lot. So use a scraper, gets all the ingredients out. And baking is a little, it's not scientific, but it's a little more scientific than other stuff. So you do that. Why do I put the butter? I put the butter in last. Okay, stir smoothly. Okay, nice. All right, so this is it. This is the first part. So anyway, I'm gonna put this on to the. Let me move that off of there. There we go. Yeah, but you're not a yeast girl. Yeah, so yeast is easy. But the thing is, you have to have your building. I won't say building, but your kitchen has to be the right temperature. So I'm just gonna put this on here, and I'm gonna move the camera as soon as I get this on here correctly, because I always have trouble. And I don't want you to see me struggling with this machine because it's a pain. Let me see here. Hold on. Get this on here. Yes. Oh wow, it's 2 o'clock already. I'm almost 2 o'clock. It's going to be 2 o'clock. Oh boy, it's like I said, this day has gone by, and I should have started earlier. But I know most cooks start at like crack of dawn. Smart people do. But I don't. I didn't. Shame on me. But anyway, okay. Now I got the lid on. Almost got the lid, and then I'll show it to you. I'm gonna move the camera in just a sec. But this is the work for me. This is the worst part because I have these. You really have to be careful. Um, you don't want you don't want to stretch your cords out. And they give you really thick cords, but still, even still, let me try it this way. Hang on. But the last thing that I'm going to add is the butter, and then make sure that's in there. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good. Hopefully we're good. Let's see this. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, it's working. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to do something crazy here. Let me see if I can. Whoops. Okay. Oh, my device did a thing here. Hold on. Mhm. Let's see. Come on. Oops, as I dropped it. Here we go. All right. Sorry about that. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is it. So it's spinning, mixing everything in. All right, now I'm going to add the milk. Oh boy. Let me see this here. Okay. Let me see here. Woo! I'm going to come back off of this in a second. Okay, there we go. Woo! Got my cookbook there. Woo! So this is rolls, and I'm doing this without using my hands. So, oh boy, I knew I was going to drop my phone. I always do. All right. All right. Okay. Woohoo! Let's see. There we go. But this is the way it goes here. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to add some more flour. Now I'm going to have to put this down. Oh boy. Yeah, this is bad. Okay, here we go. Let's do it again here. All right. Let me see. Trying to do this without a situation. Okay. All right. Hang on just a second. Whoops. All right. So you can see that there. All right. I'm going to add the extra flour. And let me see. I got to use two hands because this is scary. And then I'll add the butter. And then this gives you the dough, and that's all you have to do. So, like I said, you can do this by hand. You can use a spoon. I'm not going to do that. But let's see. Okay. I'm just going to put it in. Okay. So I need a camera guy. All right. Okay. All right. So now let me put this little thing back on. And then you'll see. Let me see. Okay. All right. Hopefully this will work. Okay, so here we go. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is the on switch here. So you see, you just there's the butter. It's all combining, and you just let it do its thing. Yeah. Mhm. Yes. Butt files. Ooh. And Steve-O's here. Yay. So we're doing some rolls, and this is it in the food processor. All right now. This is an old Cuisinart here. This is from like the 1980s. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's looking pretty good here. All right. So I think that's looking pretty good. All right, so I'm going to clear my little space here. I got so much stuff here. This is what happens when you're cooking. All right, let me see if I can. I'm going to flip myself back here. All right, here we go. All right, I got to do a little cleanup, and I'm going to read the chat here. And sorry, this is not a pretty look. I'll just have something better to look at there. I'm going to wipe this up. Let's see. I'm going to check on this. I'm going to let it rest for a little bit. And this is what you got to do. Yeah, you got to see all the flour and stuff. It's everywhere. This is real cooking. All right, now. Oh, there's Drew. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you. Good day. It's nice. All right. I'm going to take a look at the dough here. Let it rest for a second. Okay. But yeah, this machine is really big and it's awkward. So unfortunately, the dough. Let me see if I can get this off here. One more time. That looks pretty good. Okay. I think that's. Ooh, that looks good. Now I'm thinking maybe this might be a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Could be a little dry. Not dry. Probably a little too moist. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'll show you what it looks like. If I can get this off of here. Yeah, this machine is awkward. Okay, here we go. And off. Hang on. Okay. Let's see here. It is like stuck on here. This is real life. Let's see if I can get this off. Here we go. All right, so here it is. Okay, so there's the dough. So you get a little bit. Now you really should scrape these sides like this, because sometimes with the food processors. But you see the consistency is pretty good. And so what you have to do is you have to put it in the bowl, and then knead it a little bit, and then keep it in a warm place, cover it, and then let it rise. But that looks pretty good. That's actually not too bad. This looks like this would be a good pizza dough. Yes. Oh, you love cooking. Oh, cool. That's nice. Yeah, I started cooking because, well, I mean, well, once you have children or whatever, you have to cook, and then you start trying to figure out ways to make different things. But this was one of my grandmother's favorite recipes for the rolls. And what you do is you let these. Whoops. Oh boy, here I go again. Yeah, you let these. Let me see. Come on. I don't know why this wants to rotate. Hopefully, let me know if you can still see me. Hopefully, you can. But anyway, this was my grandmother's favorite recipe. Yeah. So, and I have her cookbook. I'll show you her cookbook. It's kind of embarrassing. It's so bad. It's like pieces. But you see the texture of that. Pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to knead it. And I hate touching stuff. That's the only thing. It's one of those things I just hate putting my hands in stuff. And it's just that's always the way I've been. But I'm going to put a little flour on my little tablet here. And this is what you do. Put a little flour on this board. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see. You can't see it, but I'm just putting a little flour, and I'll show it to you in a sec. Put a little flour on the board, and then you knead it. So, let me see. I'll pull this back. Yeah. Then you put it in a bowl, and that's it. I'm just making sure everything's out of here. All right, so then I'm just going to pull this back here. But anyway, you put a little flour on the board, and then you put it out. But I'll show you. Oh, I forgot to show you. I'll show you the cookbook. It's so bad. Because this is how, like, when you cook for real. So, anyway. But look what's left of it. It's so beat up. And you see, look, there's stains and stuff like that. This is like real life. Okay. Now, why isn't this trying to rotate? Hopefully you can see my screen. I don't know why this is doing that. It wants to rotate, but it can't. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. All right. But anyway, that's it. So that's the cookbook. But I'm gonna pour this out onto the counter if I can get this out of here, and then we'll see. But I'm living on the edge here doing this live. I should probably be doing this who are cooking and trying to figure out like what they're doing today, which I get. But anyway, that's basically it. I'm just scraping all this out of here. And I have the little dough batters in here. A little dough paddle is in here. I don't know if you can see that there, but I'll pull it out. But this is what happens. It gets stuck in there. But that's the little paddle in the food processor. And I'm just going to scrape all that off of there too. And that's it. But I'll knead it a little bit so you can sort of see the process. Now, I'm not a good kneader. That's not my forte. But I usually just let the machine do it. And but the main thing with bread is you just have to let it rest. You can't work it too much. Oh, there's Aisha's here. Welcome in. Are you cooking today? Hopefully you're cooking today. Most people are, I think. But I'm just, I said I'll show these rolls because these are my favorite. And bread is intimidating, but don't let it intimidate you. It's really not that bad. And if you really have a hard time, like I would say, try it with a wooden spoon and a wooden bowl. And just, you have to flour it, make sure there's flour on it. But that's it. Yeah, so that's everything out of the bowl. Let me just get one corner. But that's the dough. And like I said, this came out a little bit wetter than I would like, probably. But you can always add a little flour, and that's the deal. And then, so I'm going to do this. Put the flour on there. Probably could use a little more. Let me add a little more. But the thing about this is it can be pizza. It could be pizza. You can make, all this dough is really similar. But anyway, that's it. So I'm just going to roll it into a ball. And then, the other thing is you should, well, I'm going to touch it. I'm going to leave it alone. And then for the next thing is you just put it in a metal bowl. And you want to put a little bit of oil. So I'm going to do that real quick. And then I'm just using a little bit of olive oil. And you just put it in like that. A little bit there. And then that way it won't stick. And then you just cover it with, you can cover it with a rag. And I'm just going to slide that around a little bit there. But I try not to work this too much because it's too much. You don't want to do too much there. But there it is. All right. So I'm just going to put it in there. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving. And that is so cool. Yeah, but this is my grandmother's favorite. And then what you do is you let it rise, you cover it, you let it rise. And then when you're ready, you can roll them into whatever size roll you want. You could do it into like a croissant if you wanted. You could do it into a, whatever shape. And you could put it in baking cups. But usually what I do is I just roll them into balls, sort of like like Play-Doh, and then I just kind of align them inside of a pan and then bake them. So what I'll do when I'm done is I'll put the picture of them finished. But that's what it looks like. Pretty good. But anyway, thank you all so much for the gifts. That's pretty awesome. And I haven't done this in a while. Come back. I'll do these once in a while. It's a lot of work, doing these lives, but they're fun. Sometimes they're fun, and I think people enjoy like kind of watching stuff. Like I'm not an expert at this stuff, but I do it a lot. I do a lot of cooking. So, and over the years, you kind of figure out tips and tricks and things like that. There's a little more flour in there. I'm going to add that. But yeah, you always get, I always scrape the bowl. And that's what I'm doing right now, just scraping the bowl. Like I said, and then what you do is you knead it again. Just make sure everything is, combined. And then you let it rise. So you let it rise twice. So I'm going to cover this and let it rise. And then I'm going to do it again. And it usually takes about an hour. And you want your kitchen to be about 70 degrees or 60 some degrees. It has to be about 68 degrees to make sure that it turns not, that it's nice. But that's all you do is you just cover it. And then you're good to go. Let me see if I can grab a thingy here. Yep. Yep. And this is just a linen little towel. I'll show you. This is one of these. And I just covered it. But it's embroidered. Yep. And that's it. And you just and go. So anyway, but happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Oh, God's desire for me. Thank you. So I'll show you the dough one more time before I go. But that's the dough. So I'm doing rolls, and it's all ready to go. I think it looks pretty good. And you just put it in a ball. Yeah, I think that looks good. And you can even put a little oil on the top to keep it from drying out. I'll probably do. This is just a little bit of olive oil, and this is what you do. You see, I put a little drizzle, a little bit on there, a little bit of olive oil, and while it's resting, you just cover it. But you got to be careful if you have pets. Oh, you made rolls last night. Good for you. Oh, so cool. You did a great job. Thank you. That's nice. Yeah, I am really late, so I got to get on the ball. But I have a tiny little. I'm not doing turkey today. I'm doing chicken, and it's only about 3 pounds, so it's gonna cook in like 15 minutes. Not 15 minutes, but it's gonna cook in under an hour. So I'm not worried. Yes. No, Lorraine. Hi, Kelly. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, good to see you. But yeah, these rolls are interesting. And like I said, I'll post the recipe. It's not mine. Time, but it takes 8 cups of flour, which is really a lot. And my husband and I, we only have 2 people, so we try not to do the full batch because you could, it's a lot of food, and then with the turkey and stuff, there's so much going on. But yeah, there it is. And thanks for stopping in, Willie. Good to see you. Yeah. But anyway, so thanks so much for coming in. I'm gonna dip off. But anyway, have a great holiday. Take care of yourselves. I gotta clean up this mess. Look at this mess. I'll show you. Oh, this is really bad. There's like flour everywhere, and this is real baking. And look at the bowl. This is gonna be messy. Oh, you like the towel? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a towel. Yeah, and it's one of those. This is like a vintage. See, all these women used to do this embroidery. Do you see all that work on here? That's crazy, isn't it? It's a lot of work. And this is linen, which is really nice. And it breathes a little bit, but it covers everything. Yeah. So I like vintage stuff. And so you'll see periodically I'll do some vintage stuff like that. But that's, yeah. All right. Well, anyway, well, thank you so much. Have a good one. And I may pop up later. We'll see if I don't know. We'll see what happens. Got to get camera ready. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So go to, thrift stores have a lot of this, and a lot of the older ladies are passing away. So they are, you can go in, and a lot of people have a lot of linens. Back in the day, people had a lot. And, couple dollars, you're good to go. And it's nice and it lasts forever. I mean, it's a little wrinkly because linen wrinkles, but this is linen. And it's really pretty. I forget what flower that is. I used to know. I think that's a. No, I'm not sure. I'm not even going to say. I think it's a sweet pea. I think that's what that is. Yeah, it's really pretty. Oh, Chevy Speed, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. But anyway, so here's the rolls. I'll show you this one last time. But I made, and then we'll see what happens. But anyway, please give a thumbs up. I appreciate it, and have a good day. We'll see you soon on the YouTube streets. Peace and love, and take care of yourselves and each other, and eat well. Eat well. Yeah, and don't eat too much, but eat well. All right, and healthy. Yep. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.